Hi, I'm Movieman. I'm an octopus who reviews movies, and today's review is going to be on. This movie premiered at the Venice Film Festival the day before my birthday, funnily enough. And yeah, it had gotten some very solid reviews, so when this film was released there last week in Ireland, I figured I may as well give this one a watch. So I went to see it last week, and yeah, in my opinion, I thought this was a really good movie. Um, well, to start things off, I think the cinematography in this film is honestly really good. Like there's honestly some genuinely really good shots in the movie. I think is a very well shot movie. Um, like I will say the movie kind of seems to linger on some of its shots, which I think it does pretty well. Yeah, there's some genuinely really good shots in the film. Like there's like that one shot of Sylvia and Saul, like the two of them, like on the train station and kind of like staring across from each other. It's honestly a really well shot film, despite it being kind of an independent production. Um, yeah, so I think the cinematography in the film is very good. I think the movie is edited very well. Like as I said, the movie kind of seems to linger with some of its shots, and so because of that, I think the editing doesn't really feel very apparent. But whenever there is a cut, it fits. It's done well. Like I feel like there's a lot of times in the movie where it's kind of just taken in that one shot. So I kind of it does it's like it's done very well. And I think it cuts like when it is meant to. So yeah, so I think the editing in the film is very good. Um, Now as for the pacing in this movie, now this isn't really a very long movie. It's 100 minutes in length. So it's not exactly a very long film, but yeah, like it can be a bit of a slow burn of a movie, which makes sense. But with that being said, I actually don't think the pacing was really that bad. Like honestly, with it being 100 minutes, like it didn't really feel like a very long movie, but I don't think it really rushed through a lot. So pacing in this movie was pretty good. The music in this film is actually quite solid. Like I think the movie has a decent score. I think it's particularly great. Like there's nothing really too noteworthy to say about it. But nonetheless, it is overall a solid enough score. So yeah, the music in the film is decent. Now we get to the characters and the performances from the cast. So starting off, our main protagonist in this film is Sylvia, a social worker, and she works at like this place for adults and stuff. And like now like we know that she's like a recovering alcoholic, but I think she's honestly a very compelling character. Like throughout the movie, we kind of start to learn quite a bit about her character's past and kind of the trauma which she has had to dealt with. I think she honestly makes for a very compelling character. Like you really feel bad for her character, and in terms of the performance, I think as always, Jessica Chastain does a very good job here. I think she really plays her character very well. Um, yeah, so I think she really makes this character very compelling. So I thought she was very good here. I thought Sylvia as a character was, a very good character. Um, Now our other protagonist we have in this film is Saul. Saul, obviously we know with his character, is that he suffers from short-term memory loss, and it's because of this he's kind of known to kind of make some mistakes, and it's hard for him to kind of really fit in. So yeah, I think you kind of you really do end up caring about his character. And in terms of performance, I think Peter Sarsgaard honestly does a very good job. Like this is kind of the first really proper kind of leading performance of his. Like prior to this film, I've only seen him in two other movies, Orphan and The Batman. And so, in both of those films, he wasn't really, the main character. In The Batman, especially, he was only a very small character in that film. But now in this movie, he's actually leading alongside Chastain, and I gotta say, he is very good in this role. He becomes his character. Like, he honestly plays this role very well. I think he really makes Saul a compelling character, and I think him and Jessica Chastain, not only do they have great performances respectively, but I think like their chemistry is really good. You really feel very genuine with both of these characters. So I think these are two very good main characters, and the two lead performances, they really make this script stronger than it already is. I won't really go too much into a lot of the other characters, because the other characters we have in this movie, they're kind of like they're Sylvia's family and Saul's family. I find all these like kind of supporting characters pretty solid in their own rights. Like while Sylvia and Saul are really the two compelling characters here, but I think all the other supporting characters, they oh, they all kind of have their own roles in the movie. I think in terms of these supporting performances, pretty much everyone is solid. Like, I don't really think anybody does a bad performance here. Obviously, Chastain and Sarsgaard are the standouts, but to be fair, I think some of these supporting players are pretty solid as well in their own right. So, yeah, I think the characters are all pretty solid, but the main two characters are really the most compelling, and the performances are solid for the most part, but it's Chastain and Sarsgaard who definitely leave the biggest impact. The plot of this film, now, I mean, this film already has a pretty compelling concept with a trauma-ridden social worker having to care um, for a man with short-term memory loss. Like, I think for a drama, this is already going to be quite compelling, and honestly, I think it does it very well. Really is a very compelling narrative. Like, I think I think particularly both of these characters, you really kind of get into them, and you care for their plots. I think it is particularly really interesting throughout the movie when we start to learn like more about Sylvia's character and like the trauma that she's had to deal with. It makes for honestly a very compelling plot. Yeah, you really do care for both of the characters, and like with both of these performances, like they especially really help out in kind of remaking this plot be as compelling as it is. Like, I mean, if you had like two lesser performances, like if they weren't as good as they were here, I honestly don't think this movie would really be as good as it is. But since we have both of these performers kind of really bringing it to this film, it kind of does help out in making it a very compelling plot. So yeah, the plot of the movie, it's a good concept. I think it's executed honestly very well, with the performances in particular kind of really helping it out. As for the narrative structure, now obviously kind of the basic plot is the social worker who's dealt with trauma having to care for this guy with short-term memory loss. As I've said throughout the film, we kind of delve into both of these characters. We kind of see things. We kind of learn about stuff with Sylvia's life. We kind of learn a bit with Saul as well. Like, I think Saul's whole plot is very compelling. Obviously, it is kind of the main driving force of the narrative. Yeah, I think you honestly do kind of care for this character. It's interesting kind of learning all about what's been with his character. However, I think like all the stuff with Sylvia's character as well is especially very interesting. Like, because throughout the film, we're kind of learning about it as we go along. like kind of more and more is revealed throughout the movie, and yeah, you definitely feel more for Sylvia when the film goes along, and it's honestly just very compelling. Like, really, this film is kind of just about these two lost souls and kind of how their worlds intertwine. Honestly, making for a really compelling narrative. It's a very good narrative. Yeah, it's just honestly everything we get in the movie is honestly really interesting. I think. Yeah, and it kind of just is like it's a good drama, especially done with these performances. It's really done well. So yeah, I think the narrative structure in this film is honestly very good. So overall, Memory is honestly a really good movie. Like, I like the way the movie is shot. There's some very good shots in the movie. I think it's edited pretty well. Um, the characters are all solid, but of course our main two leading characters are both really compelling, and we have two very good performances here from our leads, and yeah, it's a good concept, and it's honestly a very good execution. You know, you do care for what happens in the movie. Yeah, honestly, it's a very good film in my opinion. I can see, why it got some very solid reviews. Now I don't think it's an absolutely fantastic movie. I still think overall it is a really good film, and if you do sound interested with this one, I would say it is definitely worth checking out. So, with that, I'm going to give Memory an 8 out of 10. So, that, I'll see you guys next time, and bye.